New police tapes reveal the moments leading up to the shooting of an unarmed black teen by a white police officer in Ferguson, Missouri. In the tapes obtained by the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, you can hear a dispatcher report a stealing in progress before the fatal confrontation between Officer Darren Wilson and Michael Brown. The dispatcher gives the description of a suspect to another police officer, not Wilson.
25, it's going to be a black male in a white T-shirt. He's running toward Quick Trip, took a whole box of Swisher cigars.
Black male, white T-shirt.
That's affirmative. She said he just walked out of the store.
Minutes later, Wilson joins the radio exchange and offers to join the hunt for the suspect.
21 to 25 or 22. You guys need me?
From there, radio calls indicate other officers arriving at the shooting scene, and there is a call from another officer warning of possible trouble.
25.
Get us several more units over here. There's going to be a problem.
Are there any available Ferguson units who can respond to Canfield and Copper Creek advised?
All right, so in addition to the audio recordings, the Post-Dispatch also released this new surveillance video that shows Wilson, the officer, just 2 hours after the shooting, leaving the police station with other officers and a union lawyer. Officer Wilson, the one in the white T-shirt that you saw there. The newspaper reports Brown was killed less than 61 seconds after the dispatcher acknowledged that Officer Wilson stopped the teen. Meantime, the grand jury could make a decision about whether to indict Wilson at any moment now. But will this latest leak of audio and visual reporting there have an impact on the investigation? Let's ask our legal guys. Avery Friedman, a civil rights attorney and law professor in Cleveland. Good to see you.
Hi, Frederica.
And Richard Herman, a New York criminal defense attorney and law professor, joining us from Las Vegas. Good to see you as well.
Hi, Fred.
All right, so Richard, you first. Might these tapes have an impact, or is it your view the grand jury may have already made its decision, may have already seen these tapes?
The die is cast, Fred. I think the grand jury already has their decision. I think they're just waiting for the right time to release it, maybe early Sunday morning. I don't know when. I do not believe there's going to be an indictment in this particular case. And that does not mean that it's over, Fred, because as we saw in Zimmerman in state of Florida, they did not indict. The attorney general brought proceedings. So even if the grand jury does not indict him, the state attorney general could bring charges against him, and then you'll be looking at a Zimmerman deja vu all over again, because there's a reason this grand jury is not going to indict. There are serious issues here, Fred. It's just not simply to put a unarmed black man was shot. He's 6'4", over 300 pounds, who struck the police officer in his car. Two bullets went off inside the car, and then he aggressively attacked the officer. That's the version of facts we have. That's an acquittal, Fred.
The question is the new revelation.
All right, so go, Avery, because I don't know if everyone feels like the facts are that clear. Isn't that why we're at this juncture? Avery?
Yeah, I mean, this is not a matter that is over. In fact, I think the new video that surfaced, and I mean, good for the Post-Dispatch, that's good journalism. We now see that. It's very probative, Frederica. But whether or not it's dispositive, it resolves it, is a completely different question. What the question we don't know is, did the county grand jury see this video? And it's very important because
how could they not? Does it seem like they would have to see this, though, Avery?
Yes.
Well, they sure should, because what's very interesting is Robert McCullough, the county prosecutor, has been loading the county grand jury with both prosecution and defense witnesses, but without this new revelation, this audio, and the video, I think, is 2 hours after the fact. I'm not sure what probative value there is. But the audio is very compelling, and I think it is significant. So let's assume that the grand jury has heard these dispatch tapes, the Wilson tapes, the tape from the other officers. I think that factors in. While we don't know when we're going to get that decision, where I think there is agreement is that it's still going to be very tough to find out which one of those gradations of loss of life, of homicide, of murder, will be, will come down by the grand jury. That's the issue, and the issue is when we're going to hear from them. And honestly, nobody really knows.
And so, Richard, I wonder, how coincidental is it that these recordings would be made available, meaning in, close to the proximity of when this decision could come down, or is it intentional, perhaps, to best prepare the public for what's next?
Good.
I think that's what's happening in Ferguson, Fred. I think they're preparing, you know, they're giving lessons to police officers, hours of education on how to handle the situation. I think they're preparing the town because I think they know there's not going to be an indictment here. And frankly, from what I've seen and what I've read and what I've heard, there should not be an indictment. But I do not like these leaks.
Is the leak.
I do not like the leaks that are coming out.
Richard.
This evidence that's coming out right now, I hate that, especially when involved in a case and things like this come out. It should not come out.
That's right.
And I have a problem with that. But in the end, Fred, put your seatbelts on because I think this thing is going to come down within next week, if not the next day or two.
All right, Lavery, last word. Quick.
Well, very, very quickly. I think, why did it come out now? Maybe it's an intentional leak. I think it is. The leak, I think, has diminished the process. Bottom line, I'm in accord. We're going to see something very soon.
All right, Avery, Richard, thanks so much. Always love your brilliant minds and can't wait to talk to you next week.
We missed you, Fred. We missed you.
I missed you too. I had Avery and Richard withdrawals, but now I'm feeling good again.
Well, we had the same thing. We had the same thing.
All right, feelings mutual. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
See you soon.
All right,